guys, it's Reilly. Welcome back to Really Reilly, the podcast. Anyways, if you're new here, we'll be talking about the bad experiences we've had, family drama, relationships, college and career, some special guests, and maybe a few surprises. In this episode, we have two special guests joining us today, Zoey and Cherianne. Zoey owns Zoey's Bikinis, and Cherianne owns Sea Egg. And today, we will be talking about a few things along with giving you a different perspective from 3 different generations. Alrighty, let's get into it. Welcome, Zoey and Cherianne, to Really Reilly.
Hi.
How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good, thanks. Good.
How are you? I'm good, thank you. This is literally we've been planning this, for I don't know,
a week.
like a month. Less than a week.
Oh, no, more weeks.
I don't know. We've been planning this. Anyways, so who wants to go first? Do you want to start, Zoey, and tell us a little bit about yourself?
My name is Zoey. I'm 22 years old. I own Zoey's Bikinis. But yeah, I have no idea what to say. I just be lost. People ask me to say something about myself. But
we'll totally get into everything and your brand and everything. Cherianne, what about you?
Well, I'm Cherianne Perucci, and I own Sea Egg Swimwear. It's been a labor of love. It was born because I love to surf. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty but that doesn't make a difference. I still have fun out there.
Right.
And I really wanted bikinis that I can wear, and I couldn't find one. If I found a set, the top would fit and then the bottom would fall off, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. Or they would look like swimmer's suits. Kind of not very cute or even slightly sexy. So I kind of wanted to make something that was a kind of a in-between that I was happy with. I was like, it would stay on, at least give me a fighting chance.
Right, you wouldn't wipe out and then your bikini's flying off in the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, that's happened before, and that's super. I mean, when you have a bikini fail, and the last thing you want to think about is adjusting your top when you think, when you really should be thinking, I really need to get up for some air.
Yeah, exactly. Or let me catch this wave. Whereas with you, Zoey, your bikini is would you say they're for surfing, or is it more of I don't know, tell us.
I don't know if I would say surfing, or even if it's just for lounging on the beach. I think it's definitely if you do casual swimming and all that, if you want to look cute on the beach and still be comfortable.
So your line is an Instagram worthy line, in a way.
They're really just cute.
Yeah, they're cute.
I really didn't I had to look up, obviously I, kind of snooped. I had to look in her page and think they're really cute.
Yeah, they're supportive
fit really
too,
well,
though.
and they support. She has thick strap option, and that's the ones that I got, and those ones are they stay on.
That's why I said they were supportive, because sometimes if you buy a bikini from certain websites like Shein or something, it would just be for posing or just lounging on the beach, but you could actually go inside the water and it will still stay on. Certain styles are riskier than others, but there are some supportive styles and there are some skimpy styles, so they're good for tanning and all that stuff.
They're definitely good for tanning. I definitely caught some tan lines.
Yeah, they're very cheeky, very highlight cut. I love the highlight cuts, the vintage.
You just released, what was it, the velvet ones, or was that temporary?
No, I'm still testing them, but I really love the velvet ones. I sent out a couple of samples and they've been working really well. I'm hoping to bring out a print later on too, because I never did prints. I don't really like prints in Barbados.
Cherianne, you have prints out.
I do, and I try to do everything as local as possible. Basically, I have local designers, some done by Chelsea Rowett, and some done by Kathy. And I use local designers. I get them printed locally and manufactured locally. So I don't do all of my manufacturing. I do a very small portion. Right. But they're all manufactured locally. I keep it as Barbadian as possible.
Well, that's great. And then I'm sure it's the same for you, Zoey, right? But you sew all of your bikinis.
Yeah, I've been sewing since I was 15. And it was as I was growing up, I had a lot of trial and error, and I was always looking for something that I was good at in terms of sewing, because I didn't like sewing clothing. But when I started sewing swimwear, I really liked it because I didn't know what looked good on me either, and I used to make for my friends, and they just wanted something comfortable but still look cute at the beach, because everything else that was available was just really weird, really frumpy, you can't find the right cut.
The right
so
fit.
I started doing that, and more people liked it. And I did find that not a lot of people did like these seamless styles in Barbados. They did like both styles are good, but it depends on how you make it. It could change how it looks on your body.
Right.
So, yeah, I just like the seamless swimwear. I still do like the covered stitch and all of that, but I sew everything on my own. Eventually, I like to branch off to either having like a small manufacturing team or my own team where I could like have a little studio and have people dedicated to working for me, and I could pay them fairly and all that good stuff.
And then you could like be less stressed, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, what's like a number of orders you have a day?
When I open orders on the beginning of the month, I take 100 per month.
Right.
I try not to go past that because that would be kind of overwhelming for me. Sometimes it does go over, but I try to sew like 5 a day. I used to do 10 a day, but that was really taxing on me as like only me. So only 5 a day right now is what I could handle, and I could still like cut off at 5 and then go and do like a normal routine to try to relax for the rest of the day.
I'm gonna say, like, what's your normal routine? Like, what would you say? It's just like...
Sometimes it's chaotic. Like, as soon as I wake up, I will go and brush my teeth and go straight on the machine. Or sometimes if like things are a bit easier, I will like wake up, have my breakfast, do like a little workout, and then go and sew, and then... That
seems more ideal.
Yeah, that's like the ideal routine. But
that doesn't always happen, as we all know.
Sometimes life is chaotic.
And sometimes we just be skipping breakfast. Like,
you know.
What about you, Cherianne? What's your ideal routine for... Well, you start work later.
I work in the evenings.
Mm-hmm.
In a restaurant. Actually, I manage a restaurant.
There you go.
So I have like I'm going to put like a real job. And this really is just, I call this a really selfish hobby. Because it's just a labor of love. It actually doesn't really make a lot of money. I do it because I just love it.
Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes. Like, if you're passionate about something, then, why not?
I think I needed a creative outlet.
Okay.
And this kind of fills the gap. Also, I work in the evenings so I can surf in the day. Also very selfish.
But I feel like we have to be selfish as women, or as people, rather.
I think as the older I've gotten, the more selfish I've become.
Honestly, I think
especially with my time.
I feel that.
It's really good to be selfish with like yourself and like doing things that you love, because at the end of the day, that's really what matters. Not like working all the time.
Yeah, and never like taking a vacation or just time off, because then you'll like burn out, and that's the worst feeling.
Burnout is a real thing. So if you could like have your favorite coffee or something throughout the day, something to make you feel happy, like that's the most important thing.
Right. Like, would you guys say it's like the little things that matter, like the workout, the coffee, the sleeping in, like whatever it is, Like sometimes I know people like to wake up at 5 and like hustle and all that. That's good too, but I find sometimes if you get that extra hour of sleep, it really helps your day to be productive. Like those small things in between is really like help you go throughout the day. Right. How would you say that we met? I would say like Zoe. Well, you and I just recently met.
Yeah, we met through Instagram. But then you asked me to be on a podcast, and I was like, sure, And
I was like, have you ever done anything like this before? And you were like,
no.
But I think I just like sent you a DM, and I was like, oh, like I want to order. I've heard a lot about your bikinis and like that they fit good, and I'm like, I'm coming home, so I ordered it like a month ago. I ordered like 3.
Yeah, I literally had on the calendar, Reilly comes in today.
Yeah.
for this week.
Reilly flies in today. And I'll pick them up. And then it was like, I couldn't pick them up that weekend. I think it was something to do. And then I had ended up picking them up, I think the Monday.
Yeah.
Like earlier this week.
But we had a FaceTime call, right?
We did. So it counts, Like now we're just like besties, I guess. Like that's just how it works. We're just in the industry. And then Cherianne.
I'm sure I met you through Erin Hill.
Yeah, my cousin. Yeah. Definitely. We totally met through...
She's adorable.
She's so cute. She was like, oh, you're seeing Cherianne today? I was like, yeah, I am. But yeah, we met through my family. And then, because Erin surfs. Yeah. So that's how that happened, because my uncle surfs. And then, pretty much that's it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've known her dad, Peter.
Yeah, my uncle,
for a while. He was
always
growing
surfing.
up, always surfing.
Yeah. And then
their whole family basically surfs.
That's true. Everyone does. I feel like Dean doesn't surf as much now. No, he still does because Chelsea also surfs a lot.
So Dean is Chelsea's other half.
Right.
And Chelsea is does my designs.
Yeah, works with you.
Yeah, does my design.
Shout out to Chelsea. Woo. Okay.
Plus, she's a brat.
Today's first topic, women's entrepreneurship. Cherianne, you want to start us off?
Well, I'm always confused and kind of boggled why women or business people on the whole, but especially women, don't share their experiences and their knowledge. It's like kept under lock and key. Like if you want to find something, you have to research it yourself. There's no kind of resource. There's no places here or people that you can ask. How do I do this thing? How do I get this? How do I get these labels? Right. How do I get, anything like that? It's
all forbidden secrets. Everyone loves to gatekeep, though. In Barbados, they love gatekeeping. And I find it so ridiculous. That's why whenever people come to ask me anything, I give them so much information. And someone was even asking me how to do, like, certain style, because they're so also. And I was like, I went and set up my tripod. And did, like, a tutorial, like, a video for them. Because, like, I don't like when people gatekeep. Like, if you want to repackaging from, I'll tell you, because in the end, you're helping another small business in Barbados.
And then they can grow and develop from that.
Yeah. And it's not as if they're not going to find out on their own, but when they do find out, they're going to keep that to themselves and not share it. I think if information was shared easier, it would make it so much easier. It should be making for everyone, especially the younger people.
Mm-hmm. And we can all benefit from it. I mean, I don't own a business. I mean, I own Reilly. That's my brand. It's not swimwear. Although I will be releasing merch, so stay tuned for that. But other than that, I can't really relate in that kind of a sense. But I think that, yes, we should not be gatekeeping. Like, why is everything so secretive? For what?
I can tell you where I get my labels. I can, I can give you tips on anything like that. It's not going to diminish my brand.
Exactly.
It's just gonna, I wish I had someone like that I could ask.
Right.
Same. From me sewing and being self-taught in the beginning and having to go to school, I realized, like, there's a lot of things that people don't share. And sometimes you can't learn everything in school. You only learn it from when you actually do it. And stuff that I learned 5 years in, I find people know on YouTube or maybe talking about it. And then someone that was in the business for like 2 years is now learning something that I had to learn 5 years because no one was talking about it.
Exactly.
So, like, it's kind of hard asking too because people sometimes give you the wrong information. Like, I've had many experiences where people give me the wrong information and then it's like, why would they do that?
And then you, like, went and embarrassed yourself. That's insane. People are so cruel for, like, no reason.
It's crazy how, if you hear a lot of stories in Barbados or, like, stuff that happened, it will, like, blow your mind.
I'm sure, because it's like, this is why I don't live here, because it's like, all the drama, all the secrecy, I just can't handle it. That's why I was only here for such a short time. And it was really just a work trip for the podcast, and I got a little vacation out of it too. But other than that, that's it.
Yeah, there's a lot of backbiting. And
everyone's like out to get you and like, or they'll just be secretive and hide things from you.
I don't know if they think it's because Barbados is small. So if you know something, too much people can go after and then they won't have it for themselves.
Could be a part of it.
Because I know when someone talks about something, it trends and then it's sold out type of thing. But that's still good for them. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. And it's on the other flip side, when you go overseas, there's so much resources for you. And I just think it's so mind-blowing how easy it is when you go overseas for like finding someone that manufactures, someone that does this, someone that does that. Like, if you want to do a website and you're looking for a studio in Barbados, there's hardly information about it. You gotta ask somebody that's within that circle and maybe they will give you. But if you go overseas, there's so many places for like creators and stuff to help out. I don't know, I'm probably going off a tangent with this one, but this is just from like personal experience.
Please go ahead. Spill it all, like, honestly. But like, people have even asked me, and this is not even anything to do because you guys both own a bikini line or, a brand, rather, a bikini brand. And I own a podcast, and it's the only podcast in Barbados, at least to my knowing, And it's the only podcast with King Bubba. You know, I was very fortunate, I would have to say, to get this off the ground. It all started with just a simple inside joke. My parents, shout out to you, Deborah and Dale, Reilly, and my mom would just joke all the time and be like, haha, like really, Reilly? And so would my dad. One day he was leaving my apartment and he was like, he just said it. He was like, really, Reilly? And I was like, that's it. That's the name of the podcast. That's the name of my brand. And it's going to go far. You just watch. And the amount of money and everything has went into it has been crazy. But then I look back and I'm like, wow, like 2 years ago, like I didn't even have this opportunity. And then, you know, now where it's going is crazy. And I'm like, wow, like I'm actually like this, like my name is my brand. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I love the name Reilly.
Yeah.
It's catchy. Like something you remember.
It's original.
Yeah.
It's original. It's not, because I was always like, okay, like I want to call my podcast something original, but I didn't even know. And then there it is. An inside joke became the entire, you know, it was a meme became my brand basically.
I didn't know what to call my business either. I went from more to dimension, more to swim, because it was like fashion and Spanish. I trying to find something special.
Right.
And then my boyfriend was like, well, you just don't call it Zoey.
Right.
And I was like, Zoey Swim? And he was like, I was like, I like Zoey's bikinis, you know?
Yeah.
And then I didn't like my name, so I was like, I'll see if it will grow on me. And then ironically, when I changed it to that, that's when people started to catch on to it more.
Right.
It felt more like a brand.
And it felt like home in a way. Like, do you feel that, Cherianne? Like, Egg is like, you know? Well, how did you come up with your name?
That's a long story, really.
What's a short version?
Well, I used to have a brand with another young lady, and it was Bajan Cherry.
Okay.
Which was obviously very close to my heart because I felt that was kind of my name a little bit.
Cherianne.
Yeah.
Cherianne, we feel you.
Yeah. Anyway, so that we split up, whatever, but it then took me a while to kind of come up with a name that I was super happy with.
Right.
And I liked sea egg. We'd see them in the sea often. I actually like to eat them.
I didn't even know you could eat them.
Yeah.
What? This is a fact I didn't know.
Not sea urchins. Sea urchins are the black ones. The sea eggs are we have sea egg season here.
That's really cool.
I would love to see a sea egg. I never saw one.
You never seen them?
They're like,
you got to go down to the East Coast and then you'll see them all the time.
Shoot, I'm always down there too and I don't see them. I never saw the cool things. I never saw the starfish.
She's like, I never been.
They're in the water and you don't see them as much as you step on them.
This is true. This is true.
You know, you're walking out the soup bowl and the side of the sea urchins or the sea eggs, you know, something's going to get you.
Oh
my
yeah.
gosh.
Most likely it's them or the
So
jellyfish or something, you know?
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a good happy medium.
Yeah, because you like them and then it was like, oh, like it could be my brand. And then it became your brand.
I wanted something to do with the ocean, obviously.
Right.
So that's how the brand was born.
That's really cute. That sums that up, Rick. So would you guys say like, what have been like your struggles with women's entrepreneurship, like within your own brands?
No one takes you seriously, no matter how old you are. Because I'm not even young.
No, you're still young. You're still young.
Well, no, I'm young at heart, young in my head, but age-wise, you know, I'm 50, 51 this year?
No,
you don't look 51.
You look like probably 30, barely 30.
You know, and I find people, you know, it's hard they just don't take you seriously. You know, I really think, you know, after a certain age, you'd be taken seriously, but it's really a struggle.
Great.
It's really a struggle. They're looking for a man behind you.
And that's the problem.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like everyone thinks like, oh, you have, when we jump into more topics, like literally everyone thinks like, oh, you have to have a man supporting you or in your corner. No, we do not need y'all. Point blank, drop the mic. Thank you very much. But anyways, and it's like, you know, I guess men and just people in general don't think that women can support women. Women can have their own businesses or their own brands. And that's simply not the case. And then other women think that we're all rivals and that we all hate each other. And that's also not the case. Like, it's all Irie over here. It's all good vibes.
Yeah, it is. So my biggest struggle with entrepreneurship is like finding balance is my main issue. Like, I know as like an entrepreneur, we could wear like many hats. We could be the
your accountant,
your
your PR, marketing,
everything.
Yeah.
So like finding that balance, and because you don't want to get to the point of burnout all the time, because I find eventually you might lose your passion, but sometimes it's not like you're losing your passion, you're just tired, you know? So it's like, that's why in the beginning and early in the episode I was saying it's good to do things in between to like really make you happy.
Yeah.
Like even if it's like small little tiny things, because my biggest issue is like replaying the messages. Maybe sometimes that's like one of my biggest issues, and then like finding time for myself, because I don't want to like burn out.
I'd say it's all something that we have to work on, like finding that balance and finding that happy medium, because still, like, I have a job outside of, you know, having my own brand. But as an influencer, podcaster, actress, I just wrapped a TV series on HBO, which will be released end of this month, Pretty Little Liars Original Sin. And I have this feeling, I know you guys are so puzzled, you're like, what? Like, I did not know that. I'm very, like, I don't talk about all that stuff a lot, but it's my passion. Like, I went to school for it. I graduated college from it. In fact, I was a graphic designer in my 2-year for college. Yeah, my associate's degree was in graphic design.
How old are you?
24.
Oh my goodness.
But people think I'm 18 because I have a baby face. But yeah, no, I was graphic designer. And then I actually worked for, you guys know Mojos.
Yeah.
Yeah, I passed on my designs to them, whether they still have them or not, but I basically sold them, and I was like, I did this as just a joke, like in college for a project as being a senior, and they bought it. They took it.
Well, you're talented.
Yeah, right. But I was like, you know what? So that's kind of like, okay, so like my background, and I talked about this on like a previous episode. You guys can go listen to like College and Career, which is like episode 3, I think, of Really Reilly. But like, to sum it up, I went to art school when I was 8 or 7. I went every weekend with my dad, drove me every weekend to the city, into Queens, like to just be part of a Russian art school. So fine art and like drawing. Then go past that, I did graphic design and like anything to do with like animation. I took private classes with a guy named Keith. And then after that, I kind of dipped away from like just drawing in general, because I was a teenager at the time, and I was like, I just want to like have fun and kind of figure out what I want to do. I got into modeling. So that was kind of like me going into like the virtual realm of things. I was like, okay, like, or well, more like the industry, like, oh, okay, my dad's a producer. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to like find myself. So then after that, it was like, okay, my mom was like, well, you need to have like a backup. Like, what's going to be your backup? And I was like, I don't have like a plan B. Like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. She's like, okay. So she still made me go to school. So I still went to college. And then that's when I studied graphic design. And then I studied communications with graphic design. And then I finished, graduated, came back here to live for under a year. Hated it. Then left again, went to California thinking I had it all figured out and I can just become like this well-known person, influencer, whatever, like on the spot. Gave up after a month, went back to New York, and then went to college to do like any acting classes, voiceover classes. And that's kind of when Really Reilly started to become a thing. And then now I'm here today, and this is my brand, and this is who I am. So
you're a jack of all trades.
Wow.
A jack of all trades. It all just had to end with just my name. It's like, you know what? She's going to be known for herself.
To be honest.
Yeah. So that was it, pretty much. And now I have my brand, and King Bubba's a part of it. And now I just released a song with DJ Private Ryan, King Bubba, and myself. He had me on the track with both of them. It was such an honor. And yeah, guys, go listen to Sugar Pop. That's my voice.
Wait, you could sing too?
Yeah, I can sing too.
Oh my goodness.
Well-rounded, entrepreneur over here in the corner. So, I mean, like, I guess I could share my struggles. My struggles were just kind of not knowing what I wanted to do growing up. And I'm still growing up. But, like, always knowing at age 15 that I had to be part of the entertainment industry to follow my dad's footsteps in some way. So whether that was going to be, like, a graphic designer or being an actress or just an influencer, knowing me, like, I couldn't pick. So I wanted all of the above. knowing that wearing all those, like, we can do it, like, as women, we can wear multiple hats, but knowing I was like, okay, like, I have to, like, narrow it down to something. So now I would identify myself as an influencer, an actress, a voiceover actress, a podcaster. I'm definitely known as a podcaster first before anything else. And then, yeah, I sing and I'm releasing tracks, like, probably later this year. So we'll see how that goes.
Very cool. Okay.
So, but yeah, like, I just have, like, you know how Cherianne, you were saying, a growing passion, like, you know, like that gut feeling where it's like, if I don't make this a hobby and turn it into something, like, I'll be miserable. And I just know, like, when I was on set for HBO, it was like the best feeling in the world. I didn't care that I was working 15-hour days. 15-hour days on set. Literally. Changing outfits, getting your hair done. Like, it was a whole nother makeup. Like, everything is just that no one would ever think, like, oh, I feel like half my friends don't even know what I do. They're just like, oh, like, she has a podcast. And, you know, I mean, like, if you are my friend, you should know what I do. But yeah, like, I mean, for Struggles, it's very competitive in the industry. And it's like, you know, oh, am I going to make it? Like, you know, or it's more of like who you know and like, can you really get yourself out there? Because it's like, yeah, you can do like TikTok and have like those outstanding platforms that like get millions of views and millions of likes or like, you know, whatever, and then like blow up from that and be well known. But I always had like a feeling that I would start my career and it would be established, like it would be based out of rather in Barbados. Mm-hmm. And here we are. And now I'm taking it to LA because my parents were like, do you really want to move to the West Coast? And then my brother just moved over the summer to Las Vegas to pursue his career. And and then I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm next because I'm not going to wait until I'm like in my late 20s. I was like, I'm in my mid 20s now. As of November this year, 25, I am going to leave and I'm going to make it happen some way.
Honestly, I feel like you just got to push and get through because there's a lot more resources overseas. And if you play your cards right, it could really kick off.
I just feel like it's also like who you know as well is a big like take in it.
Yep.
If you know the right people and you're friends with the right groups, then you're going to be surrounded with those people and have really great opportunities.
Yeah.
And for me, it was a lot of like dropping, like I guess like cutting off friendships that were toxic or that, you know, just didn't benefit to the direction that I wanted to go in. More of a sense, it was holding me back and I didn't want to be held back any longer. And I was like, you know, and also, men, you guys suck because I really am so emotional that I would let a man sabotage my career twice now, but not anymore. I'm single and thriving. And also I just feel like as an entrepreneur with Struggles and then getting into the industry, like you really don't have time to even sleep sometimes. So how would I have time for a relationship?
It's tough.
Yeah, for real.
It's hard to do a family balance and work and business balance.
Yep.
Right.
It's kind of, it's everything together and you just have to remember. Well, for me, I have to make sure I have family time.
Mm-hmm.
I have
but you also have to remember, yes, as I said, you know, I'm quite selfish with my time because in the end, the kids grow up and they leave.
Right.
And then you're in a position that you have to struggle again to find yourself if you haven't been doing anything except looking after kids.
Right.
Life is in phases, though. Like, I feel like each phase of your life, you go through, like, a different you.
Mm-hmm.
So, it could be fun and it could be scary sometimes.
And, like, people always think, like, as an entrepreneur that you can't wear multiple hats and have a different, like, daytime job. I just know that I want to establish myself as something bigger. And when that time comes, you know, then I will go on to that. Mm-hmm. And now it's coming faster than I expected. But that's okay. Like, it's what I've wanted for the longest time. So it's like, you know, like you said, push, go through, get to the end destination. And then it's like you have a journey. You're on the journey and then you have a story behind it.
Yeah.
Because then other women will look up to you. I mean, I have my cousin that looks up to me and she's like, oh, wow, like, you've been through so much stuff. And it's like, yeah, but like, I'm strong. Like, I pulled through everything that you think is
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know. Like, it will mold you into the human being you're meant to be in society.
Nice character building experiences, you know?
Well, yeah, exactly.
Struggles are character building.
Yeah. That's true. It morphs us into who we are. And that's a wrap on that.
We'll catch you in part 2.
This episode is produced by Mark Newton, along with Just Saying Productions and music by King Bubba. We'll be back with another great episode soon. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Peace out.